bigger than Marshall now.
That's
What's
fine.
up, guys? We're gonna work some. Last time I was like this, I looked tiny. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here with Marshall again, breaking down a very great fight between Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno. As you guys know, there was some grappling, and we're here to talk you through it. So let's discuss what happened in the exchange of only the grappling. All right. First, what we had in the fight was a clinch game to a takedown to a back. So as they were up, he threw a really good combo, came into the double clinch. As he tries to work the double under takedown, what we had was Deiveson went ahead and turtled. As he turtled, he had the back control. From here, guys, he put the hook in, and if you notice, he kept the double unders because when you keep the double unders, it prevents the opponent from doing a basic tripod escape. So look, as he tries to escape, exactly, he's hanging on, he releases the under grip. He now has the rear naked choke option. Of course, after a few shots, he's able to pepper him with some punches, bring the hand across. He couldn't finish quite yet in the beginning because of the gloves. He punched him a few times. And finally, when he was able to get the arm underneath, he was able to apply the rear naked choke MMA style, meaning he grabbed his bicep. The glove, because of the gloves, he was able to hold top of the head, and then he was able to squeeze. Another thing we didn't talk about was the body lock triangle that he was able to apply. He was putting pressure with the body lock triangle, making it very hard for him to escape from the back position. This makes it even harder for him to escape. So as he's doing these positions, he has the body lock triangle securing the position. He has the rear naked choke, and that's basically how he ended the fight. In this case, you see a lot of different MMA fighters use different cranks and stuff to get the choke. Here he used basic punches, good back control, and a basic rear naked choke to end the fight.
So, really good breakdown on what happened. The question that I have is, first of all, I see that body triangle a lot in MMA. Not too much with shorter guys. It's really difficult to lock that body triangle up. But when someone has that body triangle on you, can you show a few things that you could possibly do to get out of that body triangle?
Of course. So let's do it. All right. So you have my back. So whenever someone has your back, always prioritize the choke or the punches, right? So I should be very cautious of this first. A lot of times people worry about the legs, in which they're doing a good job, but I open myself to punches or chokes. I have no defense, or I get knocked out or I get choked. So I have to be super tight. I'm here, what we call answering the phone. I'm hugging my head and I'm super tight. Now I don't stay sitting up because you have more control. I start putting my back onto your chest. Now at the same time, if you notice the body triangle, there's a side that I want to go to there's a side that I don't want to go to, and there's a side that I want to go to. In this case, because of the triangle on this side, I want to actually put all my pressure onto my left side, your left side. What that does is it isolates and keeps you from being able to control my back by switching your legs back and forth. So a lot of people will go from body triangle and go to, and then they'll come to back. And they'll go back to body triangle, and then they'll go to back. So they're always controlling you. But if I pin my legs onto your legs, it keeps you from moving as much. I don't know if that makes sense. Whereas if I go to this side, you can go back to back control. Exactly, regular hooks. And then you can go back to body triangle. So you can really manipulate the control here. So if I go back to body triangle, if I go to this side, you can't really do that as much. And now I have to be very conscientious about the punches and the chokes, right? So I'm going to take damage, but I want to minimize damage. Number two, I want to start pushing off of this leg here. This leg is what's kind of keeping me tight. So I got to start turning in this way. Now, in a competition jiu-jitsu match, no strikes, awesome. I could take my time, could put my back on the mat. I don't have that luxury in MMA. So I got to really block and make sure that I'm not getting punched as much. And I put my back on the mat and hopefully inviting him to come to mount. When he comes to mount, I put it in half guard and I stay super tight because I want to minimize damage. And of course I can come back, up kick, or obviously not up kick if he's on his knees, kick him, technical stand up and come up. That's one escape. A second escape, and we see this in a match a few years ago, by Tim Kennedy and Hodger Gracie. It's the same concept, but of course, instead of putting my back on the mat to flee this way, I push and I use this arm to trap. So now it's very hard for him to throw a strike this way because I have good glove control and good body control. I'm not out of the woods yet though, because he can come in and close up a arm triangle. So instead, as I'm here, what we saw Tim Kennedy do a few years ago, and a lot of people are really doing this escape now, is I turn around and I explode up into his guard, thus nullifying his body triangle. And so from here I can stay up and start working on the closed guard escapes. 2 good escapes. Like I always say, easier said than done. These are very good jiu-jitsu athletes, highly competitive, very athletic. So like always, it's very hard and it's easier said than done. But theoretically, this is the technique that is practiced when they are able to do it.
Okay, so this second question, because I know a lot of people will want to know, let's say you do every single thing in your power to get out, you're not able to, and your opponent is able to lock the choke in completely. It's completely locked in. Is there like a Hail Mary, something else that you can do to escape, or is that it?
So no, there is something you could do, but having said that, just know that it is very difficult to escape once they lock it in. Like, it's a very low chance you're going to be able to escape. But there's still things you can do, right? The important thing is, if you know you're getting choked, obviously tap. You don't want to go to sleep. Train smart instead of train hard. So in this case, let me show what you're supposed to do. Gives you the last Hail Mary, last escape attempt. So while we're in this position, I want to make sure that, number one, if you have that rear naked choke, and we're talking about MMA, I'm going for that last ditch effort by controlling one arm. This doesn't mean that I cannot get choked. You can actually choke me with one arm. Just squeeze your arms together. You see, it's strong. Now, I can hold out. There's sweat. There's lactic acid production. You're tired. You're gassed. So this helps. The next thing I need to do is wherever the choking arm is, I need to go to that direction of where you're pointing. So if you're choking me with your right arm, I need to go to the left side. So I go to the left side. I don't go to the right side, because if I go to the right side, you're going to choke me and finish it here. It's very strong. So instead, I go to the left side and I turn my hips towards the ceiling and my back as well. And I start coming out just very similar to the first escape. And so now I have to be careful because I'm out of the choke, but now you can punch me. So as soon as I'm here, I reduce the damage, right? And I put you back in half guard. I get to my side. I create my frames, cover, and be ready to escape. Okay, like I said, in everything else, very difficult to do, but this is kind of the higher success rate. So we'll do it one more time. You have my back.
Now, what if you're not able to peel this? Like, I'm just so strong, you try to peel this arm and you're not able to.
So 2 things. Number 1, I can again do the same thing and try to smother and come up and try to relieve some of that pressure. You see how it kind of opens up a little bit?
Yeah.
Again, it's very hard. And remember, the rear naked choke only takes between a second to 5 seconds to choke me. So if I can hold out a little bit, this will be good, right? It's still very difficult, and I do the same thing. I come in, you release, I cover my head, I frame, and I make sure that I'm in a very protective defensive guard. The third thing, I don't like this option, but it happens. Let's say you're going for the rear naked choke, right? And you forgot, but you crossed your feet. Okay, I can reach and go for a simple ankle break. And sometimes that'll make you let go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it just depends. Of course.
So that's why you say, don't cross your feet, don't cross your feet. Okay.
Don't cross your feet. It happens. I've seen people so tight, we're about to win, and then this guy just does like this and he's tapping.
Oh, yeah, that.
So, again, very hard to do when the guy closes the rear naked choke, but very possible. These are the things to do. So, as always be productive and try to focus on your jiu-jitsu so you don't get into these positions.
Okay.
All right, guys, thanks again for tuning in and for having Marshall again on this episode to really focus on this awesome MMA fight that you got to see this weekend. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you. Os.